Alright, welcome back to Cooking TV with Jake on Food. Today I'm going to be making some Chipolte jerky. This recipe works equally well with beef and or venison. To begin this recipe today, I have 6.5 pounds of USDA choice Ive round. So I'm just going to begin trimming off this excess fat on the outside. So we want the nice lean meat. Okay, as you can see here, we have our nicely trimmed Ive round. And I'm just going to begin cutting it into slices. And then from there we'll be able to cut it into thin strips. So you have some nice meat for jerky. It's a delicious recipe. I made it with venison previously, but equally it's flavorful when you're using it for beef. And you can see that's nice, fairly lean, a little bit of marbling this eye around, but it's an excellent cut for jerky. And not overly expensive, which is always a factor. Right, now that we have our meat all cut up, just going to set that aside, put it in a bowl. So we can make our marinade. Once we put the marinade on it, you're going to want to let it marinate 24 to 48 hours. Depending on your taste preferences. I like to marinate mine more and just kind of rinse some of the excess marinade off it before I put it in the dehydrator. Okay, so for your marinade, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need 1 cup of soy sauce. You're also going to need 2/3 cup of sugar, 7 ounces of Chipotle sauce. You're going to need half a head, or if you like more garlic, a whole head of chopped garlic, about a cup of chopped onion, 2 limes that we're going to juice, 2 tablespoons of salt, and 1 teaspoon of curing salt. Alright, so in another bowl, I'm going to add the salt and the curing salt. I'm going to add the 2/3 cup sugar. I'm going to add all this chopped onion. I'm going to add the garlic. I'm going to add my 1 cup of the soy sauce. I'm going to juice in my 2 limes. Like so. Get all the juice out of them that you can. Get some nice little bit of acidity going on there. And then for the smoky spice, we're going to need to add our Chipotle sauce. 7 ounces of Chipotle sauce. Add that in there. I'm going to just mix that up. Dissolve some of that sugar and salt. Incorporate all the ingredients. And then it's going to be ready to pour over our meat. Mixing that up like so. Just get our meat over here. Just drizzle that around. And you're going to want to make sure you stir this. Just give it a nice even marinade. As often as you wish. Just to make sure that meat evenly gets all that flavor, all that salt cure, sugar cure into it. So we're just going to let this sit and marinate now, and we'll come back and put it in the dehydrator. Alright, here we have our meat. It's been marinating for 48 hours. The next step is I'm going to strain some of the excess juice off. Alright, now I have my meat. I've drained off the excess liquid. I'm going to start arranging it in my dehydrator. Just line it up, get it nice and filled up. Alright, so now we're going to take a peek at our jerky. After 2 hours at 160 degrees, we're going to turn it down to 145 degrees for about 4 more hours. Okay, now that we have our dehydrator trays all full, we're ready to start dehydrating our jerky. Put the top on. We're going to start off setting it to 160 degrees Fahrenheit for the first 2 hours. I'm going to remove it from the package, and then we're going to trim off all the fat.